Live, pal.
We are live, pal.
All right, yo. We're gonna get right into it. Reasonably late. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to me not being late. Usually these
I
late.
told you.
I
I
know.
told you it
Usually
happens. Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like usually these joints be on me. So right now I'm just like, yeah, let's. I appreciate I appreciate y'all who coming in late. Just know it ain't me this time. You know what
All right, soak it up. Soak it up. I got you.
I'm saying?
It ain't gonna happen again. What?
Yeah,
It
so
ain't
I
gonna,
know. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. All right, man. I'm about to get into the trade in 3, 2.
It's simple.
Yo. What is going on? It is I, the Most High, and you are rocking with the joint roller Ayatollah and my main Chitty Bang. What's happening, everybody?
What's happening? What's happening, guys? What happening? We are here with the Underground of Professional Wrestling Podcast, reasonably late. You know, with your boys, Joint Roller Ayatollah and Chitty Bang the Most High. Check us out on all the medias of socialness. RW Podcast One on Twitter, Reasonable Wrestling Podcast here on YouTube, IG, TikTok, everywhere else, pretty much Facebook, everything. And also, Joint Roller Ayatollah got his own YouTube, so guys, check out that where he's reviewing all types of strains of bud here, like we do when we smoke here on the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. Joint Roller Ayatollah, what are you smoking right now? If you are smoking right now? Not sure
Uh,
if you are.
yeah, I am. I literally just so I did the review today. I did a review today, new episode. Thank you for the swift little plug right there.
Oh,
Joint
always,
Roller
man.
Ayatollah. You can just go on YouTube, type in Joint Roller Ayatollah. If you don't know how to spell it, here it is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? No, I went 420 shopping. I think we did this. We did the show 420, and
Mm-hmm.
I did Corporal Clementine as the review for the strain of bud that I smoked today. But tonight, I think I'm gonna hit the bowl, and
You know what? I need to get a bowl. I missed my bowl.
I
I don't
think
know what I did with my bowl.
I think I'm gonna hit the bowl, and I'm gonna hit some. I got some sherbet, some sunset sherbet mixed with some Cushman. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Sounds good. Smells good.
it's
I'm still working on that maple leaf. Something like.
that maple leaf sound like some fire. I ain't gonna hold. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Nah, he's just right. He's just right.
speaking of hitting just right, we're just gonna free flow, free form into the show. Y'all know we're gonna try to keep it under 2 hours, but one time down, black women does inspire me. You know what I
Facts.
mean? So I just wanted to give a shout out to my brother Shy. He made the shirt Buffalo's Finest. He got a program where he helping kids from the city learn how to get into fashion and sew and shit like that. You know what I mean? The
That's
roots.
ill.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out my homie out there. He custom making hand sew these joints. These just this thing just press on. You know what I'm saying? My man sewed this shirt hand stitched together. You know what I mean? So shout out to my brother.
That's ill.
Yeah, I mean, but what I was about to roll into, we were saying good times and things like that, and the bud.
Hitting just right.
I think I might have to make a trip. I think I might have to make that trip to Michigan, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, uh, me and the wife was just bullshitting around and talking, and I had saw a video come across the Twitter of how boys in Michigan celebrate, well, Detroit and specifically, how they handled the holiday a couple days ago, and it looked like a party. It, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I might have to touch down to Detroit for SummerSlam.
It's one of them states. Yeah, man. It's one of them states. So they got dispensaries up there. My sister, she goes to them all the time. We
Like
just had X3 on the pod.
It's full rec, right? It's full rec.
I believe so. I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah. We had just had X3 on the pod. He was just telling us about that. So yeah, so shout out to X3, by the way. He just got married. Shout out to Love. Saw some of the videos. I love it. It looks beautiful. Yeah, I know my invitation got lost in the mail, but so it's all good. But shout out to you and your wife. Enjoy your time out there. Shout out to Love.
Shout out to Love. Yo, listen, man. One thing of advice: marriage is a beautiful thing when it's on. Like, marriage is a beautiful thing when the investment is pure. Love is the hardest thing when you're doing it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? And I only say that because
that's a bar right there. You got to write that one down. Love is the hardest thing when you're doing it on purpose, dog. It's true though,
but
it takes work.
It takes work, and I think that's where I go back to. If you guys enjoy the work that you do, which is the investment in yourself and the love that you have for each other, it won't be as hard of work, right? But it's still gonna be work. Like, you know what I mean? So I just want peace and love and happiness to you, and understand that it's gonna be work. You know what I'm saying? But you're doing it on purpose, then you clearly have an intent. You know what I mean? So shout out to you, brother. You know what I mean?
Shout out to you and your wife. Shout out to you and your family. Congratulations, man. You look beautiful, honestly. But yeah, man, we got to make it out to Detroit, though. We do. We got to make it out there. Roll up with you one time. Maybe SummerSlam, Who knows?
Yeah, man. So we mentioned SummerSlam. Let's talk about the pay-per-view that's happening before it, which is Backlash. It seems to be a backlash on the program of Seth Rollins
on the Backlash.
Omos, my nigga. I don't necessarily care. Do you?
I didn't react crazy like everybody else did, but I get why they're upset. Don't get me wrong. Like, I completely understand why people will be kind of like, yo, we've had this great run of like storytelling and everything, and then you just throw a card together and you just throw matches on it, So this match came out of the fucking blue, which Omos and Seth Rollins could have definitely had an angle. That
does every match need an angle?
Here we go. I don't like the moving the goalposts, because we just talked about storytelling on 420 with AEW, and you said they're a glorified indie show. And hey, you want to look at them that way, that's fine. I still believe they should do a better job with storytelling. WWE is not a glorified indie show. We can say that.
Right.
So they trained us. So they trained us over the years to expect a story with every single story, a storyline, at least something, maybe an interaction, they cross paths in the hallway, something. So I can understand why people are a little bit jarring right when they see it. So it came out of nowhere. That's why, because they just had WrestleMania matches. They just threw the match on the card. So hopefully on Raw they explain something, and then we have a good match at Backlash. So I wasn't that mad, because I'm curious to see what Seth Rollins can do. What I was more impressed with is that Seth Rollins went out there with a mission approved with The Miz on Monday and had a freaking banger of the week. Seth Rollins versus The Miz came out of nowhere. That match they tore the house down. And The Miz, both of them, they both put that work in. But it might be like Seth just trying to prove himself as a great wrestler. Him and Omos go out there and put on a banger. That could be another moment for both of these men. So I was impressed with the pairing, because I think this gives Omos a chance to try a different way of like wrestling, and gives both of these guys different opponents that I don't think they've worked with in a while, or at least a long time. Like, I think there hasn't been a guy like for Seth like that since Braun or Big Show, since he's wrestled like that in a minute. We haven't seen a guy as athletic face Omos, I think, in his entire career.
We literally
like AJ.
So now I wanted two things. Now I know you was probably getting to a point. I was just gonna say the Omos and Seth. being a thrown together match necessarily doesn't impact or affect them, does it? You know what I'm saying? To toss it back to you and your point, so you can probably tie it together, like individually and collectively and together. Like, you're intrigued with the match. The only thing that's missing is that it wasn't some sort of like storyline attached to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
there was no angle, there was no build up. It seems like Backlash is being kind of rushed when that happens. I think because usually they would have Raw before they announce the match. At least have Raw and some interaction happen, and then like a couple days before the Backlash, you guys announce it as official match. Just throwing it out there when there was no interaction at all is kind of suspicious. It just raises the your ears up, like, oh, I didn't expect that. So I'm not sure what people are saying about it online. I have no clue what the conversation is about it, but
is it I wasn't expecting that, or that, because that's what it sounds like when you like, oh, I wasn't.
For me, I wasn't expecting it, but I didn't. Like, my mindset wasn't like, how dare they, or anything like that. It wasn't like that. Like like I said with AEW with Swerve and Darby Allin. Like, if they just gave me the match, I'm like, okay, cool, that's a cool match. But when you build it with like another beatdown and like it's it's obnoxious, you don't really need to do all that. So like this is like them just throwing me a match like that, but on a pay-per-view. And usually but WWE usually builds up to their pay-per-view matches, so that's why it's a little bit weird. And this was one time they don't. Now, do they have to do that every single time? Not necessarily. No, it's not like the first time they've ever done that. But for two guys who are, especially Seth, who's a marquee superstar, it is suspicious. Like, oh, they just threw him in the match, So,
well, is it only suspicious because of like all this dumbass rumbling? Like, this is another thing. Like, shout out. So this is a conversation I wanted to bring to the pot. Mercedes, let me just bring it up. I'll filibuster while I bring it up. But
no, go ahead.
Mercedes essentially was saying, why are dirt sheets necessary for a scripted television show? You know what I'm saying? Like, what, like
Mercedes Moné?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, and honestly, that makes a ton of fucking sense.
I want to get her on the podcast, honestly. She does a CBD line, a CBD strain with Kalisto, which would be great to talk to her about. But why are there dirt sheets for a scripted television show?
Yeah, this is the tweet. The fact that there's dirt sheets for scripted entertainment is hilarious. Y'all need to keep the fantasy booking stories for Reddit. Let us entertainers entertain you. Point blank, period. Please enjoy our hard work and our craft.
That's easy coming from her, I would say. But you got to understand that she used to be one of the ones reading the dirt sheets back in the day. This has always been a thing, like, let's be real. Like, I know it sounds crazy, or she's coming from an artist standpoint of like a scripted television show, but there's dirt sheets for Marvel. Like, we get announced, oh, so-and-so is going to be playing this character, or, oh, I heard that they're picking up this character with, Marvel. They might be able to do an X-Men movie.
I think
this is every entertainment.
But that's what she's saying. Let us entertainers entertain you. This hasn't always. I mean, yes, we're
stopping them.
Huh?
No one's stopping them from entertaining. I don't get what she means.
They are okay. She didn't say that you were stopping her. She's saying enjoy it. Like, that's what So there's no semantics in like stopping her from entertaining. She's just saying, I'm an entertainer, and yes, I'm in it now. I've been on one side and I've read it, yes. And I thought it was interesting, yes. But now I'm in it and it's now complete. Listen, we're talking about also a day and age where it isn't just I'm reporting on the show. It's all a salaciousness. It's all a personal shit. It's all, like, bro, that doesn't have nothing to do with wrestling or the craft or the entertainment value. So I think there is.
So it depends on what she's talking about. So if she's talking about something personal that came out, then yeah, we've always preached that.
The dirt sheets is reporting on Naomi. stating that she had something going on in Japan, but that fell through because they don't have enough money. And then now the speculation is they don't have enough money because they're giving the money to Mercedes. It's a whole, bro. I'm telling you, it makes sense to people who create it, but it makes no sense to the person that reading them. Like, what?
I know. I can't put it this way. I get why Mercedes is frustrated. I get why she's frustrated. I mean, I think that, but she also has to look at it from a standpoint of you're a celebrity. You know, like it's a thing where that comes with the territory. And I hate to say that, but it's true.
That's not.
Can you let me finish, bro? Listen, it's the truth. When you get to a certain public stature, in any type of field, you know, there is people who are looking at their next move. When you are moving when you want to be one of the movers and shakers in the industry, people are watching you. I don't care if you're Bill Gates, I don't care if you're LeBron James, I don't care if you're Elon Musk, I don't care who you are. If you're Oprah, if you're the best at what you do in anything, they're gonna watch what your moves are and they're gonna check you out. If you're one of the best actresses in the world, it happens. And this is not. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying this is what the world is. I hate TMZ. I hate the public, but the fact of the matter is, you can talk about what you want it to be. Oh, let us just make movies and entertain. Let me just play basketball and entertain. Let me just have a talk show and entertain. Let me just do a podcast and entertain. Let me just do whatever it is. Baseball. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're great at it, people are fascinated with you and they want to know what's your next move. With Trinity especially, people are like, yo, they've been feeding for her to come back to wrestling. And every little thing that we see that might be a hint at her coming back, people are like, wait, is she coming here? Is she going there? Is she going to AEW? Is she coming back to WWE? Is she going to Japan? And that's actually great because she gets to get paid wherever she goes because people want to see her. You know, also there's a yin and yang to life. Yin and yang to that is that, yeah, there's some jackasses that are going to be wrong and be nosy in the wrong way and approach you at airports when you're, you know, just having the dip, you know, a coffee, when you're rushing to get out the airport or get to a plane. You're going to be asked for a picture. These are things that come with the territory. I'm not saying it's right, but yeah, you get put up on a pedestal when you are one of the greatest. And, you know, I would love to talk to her about this on a pod, just, man to woman, like about the experiences she's had as becoming so famous and the cost of fame, the cost of becoming one of the best to ever do it.
I think that's the point. Like, man to woman is the dynamic of what's creating this fucking the people who's creating the blogs and the websites and reporting and all that type of shit is men, right? So like, I think that has another dynamic to the whole situation, is that like the narrative is controlled by men who don't even have the decency or want to converse and figure out the manner of the movements. You know what I'm saying? And why after all this time should she feel grace to give anyone of a pundit standard, not just throwing shots at us, but just in the stratosphere, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, why should she extend grace when she hasn't been? You know what I mean? Like, when she left High and Dry for SummerSlam, name got read through the mud. When she left for mental health previously, and she came back with took off the wig.
No, I get it. Yeah, I want to say this. That has not been Reasonable Wrestling Podcast, Mercedes.
I understand, but
so here's what I would say, and you're right. Like, that is, I think she gets a bad rap.
8 years ago, my nigga.
It's so crazy. No, she's in a male-dominated industry that also, you know, as a woman of color, that's great at what she does. People like to take shots, you know, and ways and find everything that's wrong with, you know, her lifestyle and what she does for a living and how she does it. I don't like that. I've never liked the way that she's been, you know, kind of been ostracized in some ways. And then it's like a love-hate relationship she has with some of these niggas. It's fucked up. You know, they love it. They know she's great at it, but at the same time, they I don't know. They just go too hard. They go too hard on all the women, honestly. And that's a conversation we've had many times. So I'm never going to say that, you know, just deal with it and suck up with it because you're famous. That's not what I mean when I say that. I'm saying that we got to be realistic about the circumstances, that why dirt sheets exist and why, because they get clicks. It's a whole business behind it. But there's also tabloids.
but
And it's not crazy. To me, it's not crazy.
Their business does. That's the thing. Like that would, if you're an artist, their business impacts your business, but their business doesn't necessarily impact your business, if that makes sense, right? The dirt sheets are in no way, shape, or form a part of the production, the writing, the physical and mental and financial, like they're not a part of what impacts your business.
You don't need the dirt sheets to do your job. Yeah, you don't need them to do your job.
And realistically, they don't serve a real genuine purpose when it's done
you fail to realize that that dirt sheets are their own form of entertainment. That's what it is. And sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but they are their own form of entertainment. Reason why you go down to the supermarket and what do you see when you walk out the aisles? There's a bunch of tabloid magazines of, oh, this person's getting a divorce. This person I heard that this person cheated on this person. That's none of it be true sometimes, and they're ruining people's lives sometimes, but it makes money and it does suck. I'm not saying it's okay, but it's a reality of just being famous, especially in America. There's a market behind the next story and being first and all that stuff. Like if you get where Naomi goes, right, correct, you're gonna be able to, hey, that's a notch on my belt. I was right. I found out the Naomi thing, and they just start talking shit. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's why we don't do business and speculation a lot. We talk about people's speculation, but we don't start breaking stories. That's not what we do. We come here to talk about the ramifications.
Is there we look like sports entertainment. This is sports entertainment. Let's look at Woj, let's look at Schefter, let's look at Shams. Is there anybody in wrestling worth a $7 million, $8 million? Because listen, they're not even really doing real journalism. They're getting scoops. You know what I'm saying? They're essentially like Schefter and Woj is Meltzer. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like if we're breaking it down like that,
it's so true. Exactly the same thing.
Is that what it is? Is that the direct comparison? So we do have to actually live with it because,
Well, I'll tell you right now, it's not going away. But so you do got to live with it. But at the same time, it's not like I heard the fact that she says it's crazy to me is not that crazy. I get why it's there, but I get where she's coming from too as well. Like, but yeah, we do got to live with it. Meltzer's always going to be around and all these guys, Sean Ross Sapp and everybody, whether you're an interviewer, whether you're a podcaster like us, this is what the industry has become. It's talking about the news of wrestling, not necessarily what happened in the ring in the square circle, who won the match. It's also about what's going to happen, how they're going to book it, and how the business is moving, what's the business side of it, who's buying WWE, all that stuff. Do we really need to know who buys WWE and what's going on? No, it's not necessary for us to know, but it's good to know because it is going to change, the product in a certain way, or you'll know maybe who's making the decisions, and people are interested in the business. Like I say, when you're the best in the industry, it's the gift of being great, man. It's the gift of being, it's the gift and the curse of being great, is that when you're great, you get eyeballs on you and people want to figure out that's something special. And they say you're special. And then they also want to say, how can I be special? And they want to figure out, what's the sauce behind being special? And that's WWE has a greatness as an organization. That's great. Mercedes has a great wrestler. Trinity has a great wrestler who has brought in attention to them for being great in their craft. And that's the other side of the coin. That's the yin and yang of it. It's unfortunate because, you can just take the good from everything and say, like, I wish I can just have the good of being famous, but it comes with some cost. There's, like I always say, there's a pain to everything. You have the pain of being not successful and not famous, or the pain of, success, which I think is probably less painful. So shout out to Naomi, shout out to Trinity for even getting these are two Black women that left WWE and are still fucking needed and hot. People are talking about them like constantly. To me, that's the biggest story to me, is that you can, in this day and age, as a Black woman wrestling for WWE, leave them in the middle of a show and still be the hottest thing talked about. And that wasn't like the case like 10 years ago or 20 years ago with women, period, to be honest. So shout out to Naomi, shout out to Trinity. I just want the best for them, these women, and I hope they're happy wherever they go. But when whenever Trinity popped out, we'll be back to watch her and be happy to experience, whatever she puts forth as her art form, as we are with Mercedes, who's killing it out there in Japan. Are you a little bit lagged right now, buddy? I think that Chris is having some technical difficulties. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I can't hear you if you're talking, bro. All right, but I'm gonna add a little bit. For the most part, I believe that when it comes down to um, where Naomi goes, I think that the best move for her is to do what she, wants to do for her career. That makes her happy. There's been images of her in the ring. I'm not sure if they're recent images, but I saw somebody drop something on Instagram or YouTube, and I hope that she's just whatever she wants to do. If she wants to wrestle, if she doesn't want to wrestle, it's up to her. But we all know she has a huge fan base, and we're gonna follow her wherever she goes. But and it sucks that they gotta stir up the pot and say this is why Naomi can't get booked and all that stuff and be divisive. But it is corny. But it's unfortunately the nature of business. It's the cost of being great in that way. Hopefully, I think we got Chris back. Okay.
Hello. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yo, I saw my shit melting, cuz.
Looked like I was on shroom for a second.
I saw my shit.
On the craziest acid trip. But yeah, did you hear what I said though?
Yes, I was trying to respond to you. I was trying to respond to you. I had a I was trying to respond. System overload. I had a system overload with the computer.
Oh, okay.
I gotta,
tabs.
Yeah, close some of the tabs. I gotta take care of the baby. But no, I was so when you were saying that, the yin and the yang and saying that it's not something that they have to necessarily live with, but I wanted to comment. I was letting you because you're like, let me land. I was letting you land. I
appreciate that.
I was my thing is this. Swinging back to the Omar Seth Rollins situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there isn't a storyline, because nobody reported it, because it wasn't on nobody's wavelength, it can't be put on the card. And you want to say that the Backlash card feels like it's thrown together. That's not true at all, right?
I mean the match. I meant the match. If I'm mistaken, the card.
Yeah,
I do think the Zelina Vega thing was kind of rushed, but I don't think the whole card was just thrown together.
The Zelina Vega Rhea Ripley thing is right on schedule, bro.
Listen, I ain't hating. I like it.
Hold on. I didn't say you was hating. You said it was rushed. They didn't let her do 9/11 in Madison Square Garden, right? And they're replacing it with Puerto Rico championship match, first time in 18 years. I think that's a good makeup file if you want to, you know what I'm saying? Like if we talking sports, you know what I mean? Like, yeah I missed you on that one, but I'm gonna call it this time. You know what I mean? Like, I know you like, damn, that came out of nowhere. But they've had a little, they had a little more than Omos and Seth. You know, you know what I mean? Like,
they did. Right. They had a lot more, I guess, because they had absolutely nothing for Seth and Omos. But no. So I'm here for Backlash.
Seth ain't even running the MVP backstage, nigga.
I know, right?
But this is what I'm trying to say, right? They don't talk about Seth or Becky or Bayley with the same type of venom, and right? They don't try to be as salacious as they do with Sasha and I'm sorry, Mercedes and Trinity and Jade, right? You know what I mean? They bringing up
I've seen them get at some of these other women pretty
true,
viciously too.
true,
I'm not,
true,
so I
true,
think that,
true.
but I want you to know something. It's not just women. I've seen men get viciously eviscerated, but we don't talk about that shit at all because men can't talk about that shit. We can't complain.
Men
But
men do
men
not
don't
matter.
matter.
Men don't matter at all. Okay.
Men don't matter. But nah, but we want to protect our ladies, of course. When our black women, shout out to your shirt, black women inspire us, So I believe that, yeah, I've seen it. I can't front, and when she says that take about she doesn't understand that there's dirt sheets, come on, like let's be real. We know why there's dirt sheets. She knows too. Like when she says that, I'm like, Mercedes, like we all know why there's dirt sheets. It makes money.
Do they help draw? You think they help draw?
No, I don't think they help draw. It's not about that. It's not.
Do
They're
they
not.
do they help with the entertainment value of the show?
No, not the show. It helps with their own entertainment value. They're their own entity of the wrestling industry or any industry, sports industry. Like, do we need to have Stephen A. Smith talk to us about sports? No, we can watch the game for ourselves. But it's entertainment. It's a whole separate form of entertainment. I could watch the game and I could watch somebody talk about the game and see what they think. And it's entertaining. The reason why we have a podcast is because people watch us because it's entertaining to see people talk about shit that they like, they like their opinion or like respect their opinion. It's just life, it's just how we work. We're a social creature, and there's a business in being social about things that you love, such as wrestling, and sometimes it's just not always positive. It's going to be negative. Sometimes it's going to be very positive, so it's like I said, it's the yin and yang of the industry or any industry, and it's the cost of being great. People are going to talk about you, and unfortunately, I don't like the way they talk about her or Trinity, or and it does get annoying. I can see how it can be annoying when you have them just talking about you week in, week out. But there's a beauty to that too. When I say, like I said, we got two black women who have left WWE, the biggest company in wrestling, and are the most talked about women in the industry. Like, think about that. To this day, like 10 years ago, that wouldn't be the case. 20 years ago, that wouldn't be the case about any woman, put it that way, so much less, two black women who left WWE and said, I don't need to be there. And then we're still like, oh, where are they going to go? What are they going to do? And there's a beauty to that too. On the other side of the yin and yang of that, people care about you, and yeah, it's annoying sometimes because it's wrong stories that don't make sense, but people care. They are super invested in Trinity. So wherever she goes, she's going to make a huge mark on that company. She's a huge asset. She can get a huge bag, get paid and bring that money back to her family.
The circus hard. She's doing WrestleCons and Comic Cons, and you know what I'm saying. So she's marketing herself and cashing out. Now I know a lot of people got jokes and a lot of people had jokes and everything like that, but I don't really condone that. I know Trinity's secure. And even if she ain't, her husband got two jobs. You know what I'm saying? That nigga worked Raw and SmackDown, nigga.
And house shows, yo. I think Jimmy was the most wrestled the most matches out of any wrestler in the world last year.
He was Iron Man. Shit, him and Moxley was dueling it out when they both was under the umbrella. Like, who's the most durable around this motherfucker?
Jimmy is one of the most hardworking wrestlers in the industry completely, out of everybody, out of any company. So yeah, she's gonna be fine, and she's gonna, and not only that, it's like she's gonna be fine wherever she goes, man. Like, I'm just telling you, man. Yeah, it's annoying that they're dropping these like lies about where she's gonna happen and why she didn't show up in Stardom and all that stuff. But yo, people are just fiending for some Trinity. So that's a great.
Niggas just trying to see some ass. You know. Niggas talking about they feeding the
It's not the glow. Come on, it's not the glow.
Niggas trying to see some ass.
Listen,
niggas
man.
It's a man.
So yeah, but hey, listen, you can't blame them, man. I think she's super talented, super beautiful, and I can't wait to see where she goes next. So at the end of the day, like I said, listen, like it's a yin and yang. Yeah, it's a yin and yang to being great. But more proud shout outs to Trinity. More power to her wherever she ends up. Can't wait to see her. And shout out to Mercedes as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just about to say, when you were saying there's a yin and yang to being great, I was kind of going to progress the conversation and move that to Seth, where it's a yin and yang to being great, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you want to talk about most, Jimmy's being the most Russell. Seth is the most reliable, right? And shout out to the homie Phil. Phil's been on this Seth Rollins train for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And we've always had the conversation like, yo, it's just not always everybody's time. You know what I'm saying? And he's making the case that, Cody lost, Seth never lost. He's number one contender. And I'm like, damn, how that work? You know what I'm saying? He never lost this match. And I'm like, bruh, but
in that case, Shinsuke still is owed a match too. Shit.
That's what I brought.
If you want to go by that logic.
So you said both of them niggas.
WWE don't work that like that. Shit.
But that's my thing. So back, so Seth and Omos, he didn't have. Now I wanted to that's why I interrupted you the very first time to say I don't want us to act like Seth is so great he elevated the Miz.
No, I wasn't, and I did not mean that. Because
right,
rightfully so.
This is good.
He went in. Yo, I gotta talk about that boy Miz, man. Don't be disrespectful.
Oh, brother,
he put his working boots on that night, dog. Yo, Miz came to fucking play, like his music says. Yo, he came to fucking work, play, work, whatever you want to call it. The dude came to do his thing. So shout out to the Miz. He's on my underrated list of the week because I think he's underrated in the ring. And I'm if not everybody, definitely me. I underrate the Miz in the ring because this week he was great, phenomenal, and he showed me like I was impressed. Like he shocked me, like, oh, I didn't know he was gonna go in like that. And so shout out to the Miz, shout out to Seth. But like you say, the gift of being great and being reliable is that they know you can do this whenever it's time, and they can just throw you in a match with Omos and no build, and you're probably gonna have a great match. So like that's a gift, is that they know that they can rely on you. But there's a gift, there's a curse in that too, is that they're just gonna throw you in shit.
Well, my thing is this though.
We need a great match for Logan Paul. Who can we fight? Who can we choose?
Yo, would he rather not be on WrestleMania?
No.
Like if we,
that's the gift, because he's gonna be on WrestleMania. He's gonna be there.
I know I can't give you Roman. He's like, why? It ain't what we doing right now.
This ain't what Roman doing right now.
This nigga says, what'd you say?
It ain't what Roman's doing right now. That's what it means.
Well, my thing is this. Seth goes against Roman. You want Seth to be Roman, or you just want Seth to have his match and then he lose?
I wasn't even talking about that. I'm just saying that, like,
I'm just because
if you want to go there, I think that if we're gonna say take Phil's scenario, say Seth up next, boom, Cody lost. Okay, Seth lost because of interference, right?
Yeah. I was just making a point that if Seth is. If you just say give Seth his championship match, if that's what you're saying,
the result of the match.
The result of the match is what? He loses, or what's the story? Because we already got him interfered with before, so like it's you know what I mean? Like so.
Well, if you're going by Phil, I assume he's gonna win. I think we want Seth to get his for a minute now.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's not. So that's what I mean. It's not your turn. So I give you. I'm sorry. I don't give you a real program.
I'm not gonna put you in a championship match again until you win, or until you have a real chance to win.
And I know you hot right now, but you're not hot enough to do what we doing something else over here. Like we like Seth, you hot, but this Cody guy, this we let's and I know that's why the tension. It's real tension. It's real.
I'll be tight too if I was Seth. Honestly, I'll be really mad. I would be really mad if Cody came, beat me 3 times, and then you give him a victory. He created a whole nother company, talking shit about our company, broke the throne, and then you give him Roman in one of the biggest matches of all time. And I've been waiting to get that Roman match at WrestleMania. We haven't had that, Yeah, it would rub me the wrong way. He's not totally comfortable with it, and I can see completely why. Gift of being great. You chose to be loyal to WWE, and you were great with that choice. But he chose to leave and increases value. So you know what? Um, absence make the hearts go fonder, and that's what it was. And with you, you're not absent. You're there all the time, and you're reliable. Reliable means I can count on you. And sometimes when you're reliable and they can count on you, as we know as men, shit goes taken for granted. Shit, like it's like, yo, you're gonna do it anyway. They just like expected that you're like, you gotta handle this shit.
Yeah,
And then
yeah, you're
no
mad,
thank you.
and you know.
Yeah. You're no thank you, nothing. It's just you go do it, and get it done. So that shit. Where Cody's like, oh yeah, yo, he's new. It's a new chick on the block, yo. So
But he's not even new. It's just like
it's your old thing that came back, and she's looking better than ever.
She got a BBL, and like you like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even talk like this, nigga. Yeah, I know my wife is. It say we ain't got nobody watching, but somebody watching, nigga.
Nah, I'm not. Well, we're not talking about you, man. It's more like it's just figuratively. This is completely hypothetical. It's like, yo, Cody is the new girl that your old thing that came back looking better than she when she left, and you guys are like, yo, let's rekindle that romance. You're hot, So that's the thing. He left, came back. The fans love him. It's not like the fans are. He's not over.
And it's the chick that left you to go better herself and then came back. So you was like, yeah, I knew he was coming back. Come here, let me. But they dogging this nigga around.
they dogging him around too. WWE don't learn their lessons. They're an abusive dog.
If we talk about a hypothetical, WWE is a horrible man. You know,
WWE is a horrible man.
Yo, they got Seth right there begging, pleading, give me a chance. Let me show you that. Let me show you.
Babe, you cooked some real good dinner last night.
Yo,
yeah, I'm going out.
Yo, let me show you, bro. And this nigga Cody come back and be like, so I left and I came back because I told you I was gonna get my shit right. So what's up? And WWE just like, yeah, bitch, bend over. It ain't even missionary when we fucking. You know what I'm saying? Now Cody getting off. Cody.
Holy shit.
But he ain't getting no commitment right now. You know what I'm saying?
Just get fucked.
A good one. It's a good fuck, dog. Cody just blinded by the dick and just like, yeah, he keep coming back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit. Yo, man.
Man.
That's perfect, man. Shit. That was good.
So with the card, Puerto Rico Backlash is good. I can't hold you. We got Brock. We got Brock Cody, aforementioned. You know what I'm saying? Still getting featured. You know what I'm saying? Brock Cody. We got Seth Omos. I'm willing to see how that look. We got the 6-man tag.
6-man tag gonna be lit.
With the bloodline, the brothers Usos and Solo Sikoa versus Matt Riddle
and Kevin and Sammy.
Yeah, Kevin and Sammy. We got Rhea and Zelina. We got Bad Bunny and
Ray.
Probably gonna be Bad Bunny and Ray versus Dominic and Damian Priest.
Okay.
I'm thinking like that's joint. This is gonna be a nice set. Oh, we got the triple threat. Bronson Reed.
Yeah, Bronson Reed, Bobby, and Austin Theory for the United States Championship.
Yeah.
That's interesting for me. Didn't expect that one either. But we have seen Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley in a really good triple threat match that also included Seth. I mean, So we'll see if that was if Seth was the magic.
Like,
You'll see if Seth was the special ingredient in that, or if they can make magic, capture lightning in a bottle again, and with a great different style of triple threat match with the Bronson Reed.
I will say this: when they announced Bobby and Austin Theory for Raw, a lot of niggas had that groan like, "Oh, here we go again." I'm like, bro, you already know what that shit is, nigga. Like, Bobby and Bronson just motherfucking scrapped it out. You want to continue a story, but what do? They already got a no DQ that if you talk about writing the script, you don't want the repeating shit. Do you do Bobby and Bronson in a steel cage match the very next week after? Like, what are we booking this like a video game, my nigga?
Yeah, I know.
Like, they got a no DQ that they just booked for Friday for Riddle and Solo Sikoa, which a lot of niggas was groaning about, and I'm like, bro, Riddle just came back. That was a fresh match because Riddle was gone for like 5 months, and then that led to a DQ. So there's a no DQ match. Like, what are we like? Niggas just, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, they're booking this like they booked Insurrection. They're just, remember those those overseas shows that they just like put together like some matches that I'm like, yo, why did they get a triple threat between The Rock, Triple H, and Stone Cold? And it's like they just randomly got that, and you got to understand. Let's be real. Let's be 100% open with this. The draft is next week. Like, be honest. Like, this backlash is a WrestleMania backlash for a reason. It's not really a card that they're building towards. It's a backlash. So it's just them throwing together and wrapping up a storyline.
Thank you for your
and and they're going to have a draft. So so right now things are going to be in flux. And Kevin Owens said it, and Sami Zayn said it. Everybody says it in the promo. Oh, the draft's coming up. It's going to get crazy. It's like a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty. So we'll see what things could happen and shake after the draft. Once the writing staff has their own roster again, things will be back in order again. So I'm not that pressed, and the cards are good, like you said. Well, give me a good card, I'm down. I was surprised with Braun Strowman. Actually, I wasn't surprised with Braun Strowman and Omos. I liked it a lot. Brock and Omos was what it was. It wasn't something special to me. But if you give him time with Seth, you get to see Omos display some different talents and as a monster, and I want to see where that goes. So, they'll build, no problem, as long as the match pays off. But for Seth, I would feel like I'm getting, just strung out and just like, all right, you have me doing all this work around the house, and you don't come back home at night. So what's the deal? Like, the WWE has to give him something after this. I think after working with Omos, give him Roman. Like, at some point, like SummerSlam, it doesn't matter when it is, but
we got the draft. Yeah. We might get Seth and Gunther. Never know. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that
Seth and Gunther?
Not a good consolation prize?
I think Seth needs a real angle for the world championship. I think it's overdue, honestly. Seth and Gunther is going to be it's going to slap. It's going to be a good match, but like, I can see why he's getting antsy. Like, I'm your guy to help just put over niggas. Like,
if he's doing the Shawn Michaels arc, my nigga, like, just play the role. Like, Shawn, like, are we like not paying attention when Shawn was the IC champ? Are we not understanding they had to give Shawn a European title? Like, yes, you are one of the most over acts, and we just gotta give you something because right now we got something.
Okay, if Seth faces Gunther, he has to win. That's for sure. I will say that. Yeah. All right. Cool. There is a rumor that Big E's gonna come back and they're gonna do an Imperium versus New Day angle, where Big E versus Gunther is gonna be the main act up. The main thing. So I saw that come through the interwebs. Based on his recovery. But
all right now, dirt sheets.
Hey man, that was actually.
I'm sorry. I hit a video.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're right. It probably was some dirt sheet, but I get like these little like notifications on YouTube sometimes, it'll show like a random like tidbit of information, and I was like, oh, so I just came across my feed, but yeah, I don't go searching for this stuff, but I thought it was interesting though. I thought that was interesting take. I wouldn't mind seeing that angle either. But Gunther, one of the most bright spots of the past year, and moving forward into 2023, I think he has a bright future. By the end of the year, he should be in the main event picture. But I think him and Cody at the Royal Rumble, I would book that as a championship match. By the Royal Rumble, I want to see him and Cody for a WWE championship or something like that. It's like that's how I would be seeing things if I was booking. And Seth and Roman on the other brand fighting for the Universal Championship or something like that. You know, if you're splitting the brands.
No, Cody and Seth for a title will bang. You know what I'm saying?
It will for sure. But we have seen them fight 3 times in a row and in a Hell in a Cell match. Like, I mean, for a title, it could be good. Don't get me wrong, but I would want to give it like another year before we see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. Okay, so is there anything kind of WWE that we gotta talk about, or you want to talk about, or you want to wrap your head around? Pause.
No, we touched on the main things that need to be talked about with WWE right now. Yeah, man.
Did anything from nothing on Raw, SmackDown? We can just go right into your shit that you got for AEW more in depth.
AEW, like I spoke on it last week with the promos they did and the way they're booking the shows. But what we didn't really talk about was the potential brand split that they may be having. Like we touched on it, but we didn't really talk about it. Dirt Sheets again are saying
I was just about to say
that this is a possibility. And maybe we shouldn't talk about it because we don't know. You know, it's just speculation. But let's just fantasy and all right. If they is that something you would like to see with AEW?
A brand split. I'm about to change the episode to "What's Your Fantasy?" Episode 201.
I would just call it Dirt Sheet, man. That's what I would call it. The Dirt Sheet. Yeah. Or
dirty.
Cost of greatness. I don't know, but any of that, anything. But
no, but I would say this when it comes to AEW having a brand split. I essentially wouldn't mind it. I think they have so much talent right now. I thought that's what Rampage was supposed to be, and he made it sure that no things were going to be congruent and things like that. But it ended up muddying some things up where it wasn't definitive. You know what I'm saying? I would love for the TBS championship to be on TBS, not TNT. You know, I would love for the TNT championship to be on TNT, not TBS. You know, meaning that I would love for Jade not to be wrestling on Rampage. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm not saying she don't wrestle on Dynamite. That's not what I'm saying. But she gets segments on Dynamite. She gets backstage promos on Dynamite. Jade speaks next on Dynamite. You know what I'm saying? Like, run an angle. You know what I'm saying? Have some tag matches or whatever the case may be. I know they were doing that when she had a few baddies, but speaking of Dirt Sheets, that's been reported of why that didn't necessarily work out too well. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just women just didn't, just couldn't really collaborate, you know what I'm saying, together, you know what I'm saying? But I don't necessarily know, but it wouldn't shock me. And that's no disparaging remarks to the women involved, but I'm just saying, Jade is top billing, top girl. Red Velvet. She was, then you got Kira coming in. Layla.
Listen, Red Velvet don't need to be back up to anybody. I'll tell you that right now. I love Jay.
I think that was.
I love me some Red Velvet.
I think that was well burst backstage
Yeah.
and explain. You know what I'm saying? So
Kiera Hogan left first. I don't know what that. I mean, hey, she still got Layla Gray. Layla Gray just fits that role, I guess. Um, but where is Revel? Have she wrestled Rampage recently?
I haven't. I think she's wrestled some, but I'm not necessarily. Again, it's not anything that's highlighted or featured. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That when it comes to having a brand split, bro, be listen, think outside the box. Make it all women's show or something. Like, yo, like do something.
That's
Do
what I was getting at. Because I think that
Make it an
one, I don't want to
all-women's
see
show,
them.
bro.
What AEW does not need is any more championships. So you guys have enough championships for 2 shows. Put it that way.
Yo,
So,
if they have now this is my thing. I would say this. They have the TBS championship. They have the TBS championship. They have the AEW Women's Championship. They can move all of Julia Hart, Anna Jay stuff over there. They can move all it to one. They can move all of Britt Baker, all it to one show. I will watch an all women's show. Backstage promos, segment, and you got 2 championships, like you say. I
honestly,
put the
I'm with it.
sprinkle a little ROH Women Championship in that, bro. Do something like that.
Why don't we get Athena?
Yo, listen.
Behind a paywall.
Don't give me no CM Punk favorite show. I don't want a show of just CM Punk and them boys.
Yeah,
You know
that makes no
what I'm
sense.
saying?
I think that if you're building a show just because CM Punk caused a ruckus in the backstage, that's stupid. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I hope this is just He's talking bullshit, because that CM Punk rumor that they're doing it because of him. This is what goes to the fact that, like, I don't think he's letting the inmates run the asylum a little bit. It's like, oh, okay, you guys don't get along. Let me just get you guys separated. It's like the teachers that says, hey, you go to one corner and you go to the other corner and we'll settle it. We just don't want you around each other. Like, that's not how to settle disputes at a workplace. That's not how to do business. Even if the energy is moving just because of the way people are moving inside of it, you got to have your own vision. And if it is like a woman's show, I love it. That's awesome. But if it's like a CM Punk show, like you said, that's dumb. It's not helping anything. It has no business involved in that decision at all, other than CM Punk gets his own shit. Nah.
A lot of people are making dumbass conversation points and saying that Warner Brother paid $52 million. It doesn't make any sense. Like you say, I don't know what they offer, but talking points for pundits, because it keeps us intrigued, right? It may make us continuously go back to the show, you know what I'm saying, and see if what they predicted was correct. But honestly, yeah, man, I think I would just, if you're asking me what I would fantasy do, I would fantasy make it, if there was to be true, I will make it an all-women show. That's
honestly, I like that. I like that idea. Yeah, man. What's your fantasy, man? All-women show. I love it. That's my fantasy too. Yeah.
So do you want to get into do you have a Book in Black? Or Business and Logic?
Shit. That was Business and Logic, another show, I would say. Shit. But Book in Black, I can come up with one for sure. I mean, I was watching Impact, and I think I talked about him a couple weeks ago. Chris Bay, he's tag teaming with Ace Austin, and they're the Bullet Club in Impact, and they're incredible. They're on my underrated list this week. But I do think Chris Bay is a bigger star than he's been portrayed of in the past 2 years. I feel like almost 2 years ago he was hotter than he is now. Like I have to go search for him. Like before, I was seeing him everywhere. I think that he can be TNA Impact champion if they get him to split up from the Bullet Club, get him out from underneath the group, and start his own thing. Like just be a solo act. Right now, Steve Macklin is a new Impact champion because Josh Alexander.
I don't know who that is.
He used to be in It used to be one of the Sons of Anarchy guys. What were they called?
Wait,
The group,
wait.
group with the racist dude.
Old,
Not he. Listen,
the
Forgotten Sons. That's what it was. Yeah,
one of the Forgotten Sons is a.
he's not bad. He's not bad. But and he's not the racist one because when that shit came out, he's like, listen, that ain't me. He said it himself.
It ain't Jackson Wright. Shut up. But what I'm saying is, none of them niggas was world championship.
This is Impact, man. Impact never has great world champions all the time. They have some people that we'd be like, they've had plenty of people as Impact champion that we're like, oh, who's this guy? And the fan base loves them. The fan base gets it because they watch the show every single week. But come on, you're gonna tell me that
Steve Macklin's that guy?
Chris Sabin was Impact champion, and it's really because people love the guy. It's not that he's like gonna bring.
Chris Sabin was the guy though. Like Chris Sabin.
Well, he's great, yeah.
But again, so he's an Impact guy. I get it. I'm understanding it. So when you like Chris Bay should be world champion, and you say Steve Macklin's the champion, I'm like, yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. If Steve Macklin is a champion, then Chris Bay can use his charisma and his style to get a push. I know you still got Moose there. You still got Bubba Ray and Tommy Dreamer taking up mad time from some of these young cats. I don't get it. Maybe they're draws for them. I wouldn't know. But I definitely think there's some talented guys on the roster. Trey Miguel, goodness gracious, that guy is talented. Yo, he's dope. Man, I watched his X Division match. She was fire. And I think there's some like we talked about Josh Alexander. If he didn't get injured, then he probably wouldn't have lost the championship. But they needed him and Kushida and Steve Macklin were in a program. They did a singles match between Kushida and Steve Macklin. I don't think it was planned for him to be the guy right now. But he
would have made more sense to me.
Kushida? Yeah, I like Kushida a lot. He's doing great over there.
I would have loved Kushida.
But they probably wanted a heel, and he's that dude. He is probably one of the better heels on the roster right now. And he's not a bad wrestler either. I saw him and Kushida wrestle. I do think Kushida really, kind of stole the show in that match, but I don't think he's bad at all by any means. And we'll see where it goes. Maybe this is the opportunity for him. Bobby Roode's been Impact champion. James Storm was. They give him a chance, and then they maybe do something with it, and then you see it. Wow, they're actually working with something. There's something we can go with here. Jeff Hardy. You've had guys like I'm not sure if you like Drake, but EC3 was Impact champion. So you gotta be honest. Like they give them shots. They give chances to people and say, listen, can you run it? And we'll see how Steve Macklin does moving forward. Deanna Purrazzo, shout out to you, New Jersey native. New Impact Women's Champions. They're both vacant championships, so because Mickie James seems that she might be retiring as well, so she dropped the title.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to her. She won the championship off her.
She might have got out the contract to go see what's happening with Mercedes. You know what I'm saying? That's just me being
speculation. You're being the dirt sheet now. I feel you. I see you. Yeah.
Hey, let me join.
See, that's the problem with men talking about women in the industry, just making shit
up. Out of women business.
Stay out of women business, dog. But hope Mickie James is healthy. Honestly, shout out to her. If this is the end, thank you for everything you've done.
She's a true legend.
Absolutely.
Yo, what if Mickie James shows up as a babyface against heel Trish Stratus?
In 2023, that would be crazy. But I ain't gonna be mad at it. I'll be honest with you. It's been a pleasure seeing Mickie James. I mean,
Trish
Stratus on field, but you know me, I love Mickie James. Honestly, she's that chick, man. And I wish she had a better run when she was with WWE because she still had it. She still got it now, I think, even. It's just that sometimes the business takes a toll on your body, and
Yeah,
she's at that point.
absolutely. Speaking of that, Will Ospreay, did you hear about that video or see that video that I showed you about him saying that the business and his style and everything is taking a toll on his body, and
Oh,
just now feeling back in his arm and
damn.
or shoulder. I'm sorry, and he doesn't know how long he has, but he's gonna enjoy it, type shit. So,
Yo.
that's what, and it's this full circle when Mercedes is like, let us just entertain you. And we're not always going to get it right, meaning the writing, meaning the choreograph and the ring, meaning the moves. Like there's things like Shane towards quad, like there's things that's just not going to get right. You know what I'm saying? So like, just allow us to entertain you. You know what I mean? Because even in that worst spot of WrestleMania, you still got Snoop, who's able to be produced, follow instructions,
Immediately got on it. Yo, he killed it.
and take this. It's like almost Draymond Green-esque. Like, yo, I'm about to do all this shit, have everybody talk about me, and not how my team can't win on the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's things of that nature that's like, yo, everything can't.
And then I'm gonna step on the Miz. Oh no, elbow drop the Miz.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, nah, shout out to Stoop. But when it comes to the business and how the toll it could take on these superstars, we talk about it here all the time. Like we that's why we have so much revere and respect for these artists. I don't think that we're the type of people that like go all out the way and just say crazy shit and
No.
just rude. But I do see that, and I would think we should praise, and appreciate the art form and be entertained. I think that me and you are some of those guys who just get entertained by it. I do. But having a podcast, we are also a part of the media portion to some degree, the small portion that we are doing, where we are talking about the things that are being going on in the industry, because it is entertaining. It's worthy of a 2-hour conversation each week, because there's a lot that goes on. There's a lot of wrestling. We love the sport, and it's just going to be something that happens. It's just a reality of the. But at the same time, people should wait and see. That's part of the pleasure of being surprised where Trinity goes and not dropping out like, oh, this is why it didn't happen. Who cares why it didn't happen? She's not wrestling right now. So I get where that sentiment comes from, and wait until she is wrestling and then enjoy it when she is. So I completely feel her on that.
Well, I will say this too. Speaking of the Thai Ball Impact, Brandon Thurston, guy that we follow, does the WrestleTronics joint. Impact last Thursday on AXS TV averaged 133,000 viewers, the show's highest in more than a year since March 31st, 2022. So, again, good show, good product. Steve Macklin. Like, yo, I'm Simplified Dallas, so if you serve, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? I root for everybody as long as you ain't Jax.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Steve Macklin. I think that this is his opportunity to become not a forgotten son and transcend the tag team division and be known.
Look at that! Look at the pun right there. I see what you did.
What? I don't know what I did.
You just said you just showed that you wasn't a forgotten son. You did.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, I used to be doing this naturally. Yeah, shit. I don't even know what I be doing sometimes. So no longer Steve Macklin, no longer forgotten. Shout out to the new Impact champion. I think that you gotta show and prove though. This is now where the work starts. This is his moment. Like if he misses this, then this could be like the roadmap in his career, like where the fork in the road, where if you do well with this Impact Championship and become like one of the best heels in the business, and you might get called back to NXT, you might get called back to the WWE, you might get called to AEW, or you can be just an Impact guy who's champion every now and then. And you're a good worker, so they'll just throw you in when we're not building somebody else. So and yes, accidents happen, people get injured. Josh Alexander got injured. Now you take this opportunity and you run with it. And it's unfortunate, but now when he comes back, you have a built-in angle.
So you kind of spoke a little bit about
Chris Bay.
Chris Bay. you talked about. I wanted to kind of get a little before we get out of here and do our top fives. I wanted to get your conversation your input on this conversation I was having on Twitter. I don't mind Jay White, Ricky Starks.
Me neither.
I don't like Juice being a vehicle for it. Regardless of them having Bullet Club ties and everything like that, shout out to Sir Wilkins. He did his video and pointed out like Jay White is a big star. He should be presented as such. And
shout out to me, nigga. I talked about this on 420. Like, come on, nigga, you know already. And you killed me about this just 4 days ago. Like, not even. Shit, 2 days ago.
I didn't kill you.
You tried to combat me on this shit. Let's be right. Then Sir Wilkins comes out with it. Sir Wilkins. Jay White's a big star.
My combatants. I never combated you. My thing is like, I said this. I said listen. Jay White as the new free agent, first match should have been his first feud. So if it's gonna be Ricky Starks, and you was like, it should have been a dark. Me and you, yes, said it. It should have been Dark Knights. Hit the music could have been so much better. I wasn't combating. I'm like, yo, but if Juice was going to, like, I could see Juice lost the match, and then Ricky's posing. Lights went out. Like, we've already done this, and like, but I don't like that Juice is a vehicle for Jay White, and then now they talking about he has an introductory match to reintroduce himself to AEW fans, and then they don't give him a squash. They give him Commander. Not saying that Commander's hold on, stop laughing, brother. Not saying that Commander is a bad match. Not saying
I know what you mean. I'm not saying.
I'm just saying, like, Jay White ain't showing how dominant he is. He ain't coming to show.
No, I'm laughing. You have a great point. Like, because they give him Commander after a terrible debut. I'm sorry, that was terrible. And Commander, no slight on him, but we just seen him once on AEW television before this. Like, if you're not in the know, you want to put him against somebody who he can make a name off of, and kind of like defend it. And Commander was doing mad work on that.
Commander Orange Cassidy could have slapped, nigga. Why you?
Commander was killing that nigga. Yo, he almost won the match. Like, so, like, the booking wise of things with Jay White,
like a poo put out in this month.
Yo, they really do. They as I said, missed opportunity. Like, the way to debut a nigga, like they debuted CJ Parker, better than they debuted Jay White, and he's like the leader. He's the biggest star. He's way bigger than him. Like, it's like, I don't get it. Like, he didn't even have to, like I said, lights go out, he come back and they cut a promo. I need a Ricky Starks versus Jay White promo. I need that to happen, So next week, give it to us already, Have Jay White call him out one-on-one, man to man. No Juice Robinson, and let's see what he can do.
I think what I was saying, Sir Wilkins' video sparked the dialogue and the discourse that got me. And shout out to Keeks. You know what I'm saying? All Elite Keeks. That's the homie out there representing Public Enemy Podcast. Shout out to the homies out there, you know what I'm saying? But Keeks was getting on my ass. Was like, so tell me why Jay White why Commander ain't deserve to be in the ring with, you know what I'm saying, Jay White. I'm like, I ain't say he wasn't an adequate competitor. Say he was too adequate. He was overqualified for the job. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially.
No, let's be real. Commander was whooping Jay White's ass as a guy who is not very well known.
That's what
Commander
I'm saying.
is not very well known. He's very talented. You still got to build Commander.
Commander,
that's not the match.
Listen. Commander and Sammy Guevara could have had a dope ass match, and Commander could have won the match and got the AEW contract, or you could have had the vehicle of MJF coming. I don't like this whole MJ. Like, listen, bro. It's a whole clusterfuck, like John Moxley said about what's going on over there. Like, you just need the puzzle pieces don't fit. You know what I'm saying? It don't fit.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. Since they had MJF sing, they have not utilized his presence properly at all. He's trying to do work the best he can with this stuff they're giving him, and it ain't working properly. Him and Sammy Guevara buddying up makes no fucking sense to me. I don't like it. It's so yeah, they're losing me. AEW is losing me, and this is right after WrestleMania, and they got Backlash coming up, which is not as big.
But
where they
I'm
had this
excited
opportunity
about it.
yeah, and they could have taken the. But come on, let's be honest. Backlash ain't as popping as WrestleMania. This is an opportunity for them to be like, yo, our show is the hottest thing right now. We got some, take the energy and we shouldn't be talking about how you fucked up Jay White. We should be talking about your Adam Cole's great return or MJF versus whoever, Darby one-on-one, their storyline going on right now. We should be talking about, Jade and Taya and Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter building an angle. That's what we should be talking about. These are things that we're talking about how the show's weird all the time. It's just weird, man. Like shit. It's like you guys have such good talent and opportunity to tell good stories, and you guys just fumble the bag, So like,
do you like the story of Britt Baker and Austin and everything like that? Like, do you like that?
Like story? I said on the pod 2 days ago, I think that I like the angle. I just think that they should have saved it for MJF to do it. It would have more impact if MJF had the Outcast beat her down with his candlestick than Chris Jericho. But hey, they doing it for Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's still a heel. He still has a heel group. He still got to put on a show with Adam Cole. Like I told you, I predicted Adam Cole, Chris Jericho is happening. So Double or Nothing will be those two men in a match. And I think that the promo they had, it made sense. And that's all I care about. I mean, not like the booking, because I'm not a huge Chris Jericho fan right now. I think I used to be. He's one of my favorite wrestlers in the past. Right now, I don't go to AEW for him. That's just me. I know a lot of people do like him though. But I think it made sense though. So I'm not gonna kill it. Like everything they're doing with it, and pairing these two guys up.
All right, brother. Let's get into our top fives. Right now off camera. We're gonna talk about stuff. I'll hit you on the phone and call you, or we'll talk about it tomorrow. We need a bed for top fives. You know what I'm saying? And we need to, and this could come for our 5th year anniversary. It got to come now, so we got a whole little bit.
We need
a bed, like a song. We need a track under it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to top five, or at least a bumper. You know what I'm saying?
We need something. Yeah,
we need something.
I'm going to do some research on how people do certain type of effects to the shows and get that for y'all. Yeah, for us. Yeah.
I might figure it out and just put it on the stream deck and just hit it one day. You know what I'm saying? Like top five and just roll into something. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, brother, do you have your underrated top five ready to go?
Let me think about it for a second because I didn't write it down. I was busy, but I do have it in my mind. So let me just rank it real quick.
Let me go ahead and take the lead. All right. Number 5. What are we doing? I'm high right now. I'm sorry. Whoa.
Underrated performers of the week.
That's Sunset Sherbert. Oh yeah, that's smacking right now. Okay, we should underrate it. Okay, all right. So, I didn't really watch a ton of wrestling a lot, but honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna put this nigga on the list, and I just talk shit about it. But because everybody talked like he was fucking like incompetent and all that shit, I'm gonna put him on the list. Number 5 really don't deserve to be number 5 because he's better than this, but he's gonna be on the list. The Miz. The Miz is on my list. And the reason why I'm putting The Miz on my list, bro, is because that nigga had to remind niggas that it take 2 to tango. You know what I'm saying? And last time I checked, he ain't no motherfucking broom. You know what I'm saying? The way y'all try to say that nigga can't maneuver and all that other shit like that with the like, yeah, he ain't. Man, listen, stop playing with my nigga. I'm tired. I'm tired of him. You know what I'm saying? Number 4 on my list. The aforementioned, also he's not underrated, but because he's really good compared to what we know, but we don't know of him. So I'm gonna put Commander on the list as well. You know what I'm saying? As you said, the nigga almost beat Jay White, and how the fuck do you almost do that and we don't know who the fuck you is? You know what I'm saying? He performed. It was a little sloppy and everything like that. It had this little bit of the niggas doing shit on the ropes and shit. Like, come on, man. Like you gotta expect the nigga to slip and fall. But when you talk about like, I would have rather Jay White knock that nigga down at least one of those times. You know, just one of those times. All right. Number 3 on the list. I'm gonna go ahead and put the I'm sorry, the WWE NXT Women's Tag Team Champions Isla Dawn and
Alba Fire.
Alba Fire. And
They didn't do nothing this week, did they?
Well, I was gonna say and combined with Tyler Bate. I'll just say Isla Dawn and Tyler Bate. Those two. They had matches on main event.
Okay.
And showed out tremendously, especially Tyler Bate, who had an excellent match with Dolph Ziggler. I mean, here we go. We talk about Dolph and Seth, right? Like, but Tyler Bate ain't no fucking broomstick either, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I want to give a shout out underrated to them because again, they're not featured right now. They're not doing anything of quote unquote note right now, and they were still able to have some moments and shine and be the zeitgeist. You know what I'm saying? And you know, make us remember thee. You know what I'm saying? Number 2 is man. Is fuck it. Number 2 is we say underrated and who we want to see more of. I want to see more of a more defined, more directive, more driven Lacey Evans in the women's division. Okay. Now, I know that to put her at the top of the list of underrated, but I'm just looking and thinking and like what's missing. And I don't necessarily think that she's that, but she is that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think even maybe she goes to NXT. You know what? I can replace her with Marina Shafir because she's actually doing that. So number 2, she's doing that in AEW. She's had really good matches. I think we spoke about her when Moxley said that he likes what she has. He likes what she's grown into. But I actually now have been paying.
Wait, who?
Marina Shafir.
Marina Shafir. Okay.
I replaced Marina Shafir. Lacey. Because when I'm thinking about what I'm thinking of them in the same ilk, and I'm that women's division in WWE is missing. I would have liked Lacey Evans and Bianca Belair. I think the dynamic of the two, not the nasty and none of that shit, not the Southern Belle, I'm a Marine. I work hard than you. I've been through some shit. I want to be a champion. I'm just real direct. That's what I want from Lacey Evans. But I'm seeing that in Marina Shafir. And I think if I see that on the main roster, I think that I'm sorry, on not like on Dark and Elevation, because that's where I'm seeing the development at. But if I see that on Dynamite and Rampage a lot more, I think Marina Shafir would be a great addition and asset to the women's division.
Absolutely.
So that's too and
different element, yeah.
Yeah, different element, exactly. And number 1 for underrated or underappreciated for me for the week, is it's I hear niggas talking about Carmelo Hayes, and I want to. It seems that a lot of people are forgetting and underappreciating and undervaluing how important he was to the brand, how important he is right now to the brand. Now I know it's a lot of character flaws in it, right? A lot of people don't like that he's still cheating to win matches. He literally cheated to win the NXT title. Like niggas is asking why we cheering for him and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we cheer. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we cheer for yo, and I think I'm like, yo, let's not get into this where we are underrating and underappreciating, undervaluing somebody who came in and really put a shift on. Like he took the Jordan Miles, he took the Swerve spot, and he put it. And I know the promos it may be slow, but it works. He drops bars, he drops lines. He may sound like this, but he's confident. He has a cadence. You know what I'm saying? And I think he really worked that very well to be a good character. So I want to give Carmelo Hayes, even though I think it'll probably be disrespectful to say he's underrated, but I wanted to put him on a list and say, like, yo, I've been seeing it since he won the title, since Stand and Deliver. It's been a lot of chatter, and I think, like, yeah, it's the Grayson Waller effect. He can't really be great when he's tall down to motherfucking a great value and shit. He's not even a great value. He won't even be a walk, nigga. What's the corner store value of fucking the Miz? Like, I like Grayson Waller athletically.
Really? Okay.
I'm not really a fan of the character, so he brought.
I'm not a fan either. I think he definitely has to grow on me. He's one of those guys that I can appreciate like in 5-10 years. Like, yeah, I but like the Miz, it took me a minute because they're so obnoxious, they like really are obnoxious, so it's like, all right, how do I get over it? But they're good at their job, being great heels.
Your list is gonna be better than mine, so I'll just go ahead.
No, it's very similar, to be quite honest, man. My underground performers of the week starts with number 5, Ace Austin and Chris Bay. We touched on that a little bit. They are a great tag team, but I do want to see Chris Bay take the next level, split, and kind of go after just get some more main event pushes, this year going forward. Maybe we'll see the split between them and you drop it to possibly, one of the greatest tag teams in NXT Impact history, the Motor City Machine Guns, or them and Casino got the Time Splitters gimmick going on there like a trio. I like they're doing there. So hopefully they can do that split and move on with Chris Bay being the main eventer. And Ace Austin's nice. He could actually, I would like to see him get a shot at Trey Miguel in the X Division Championship. I think they can do shit. Number 4 is Zoe Stark. I'm a fan, man. I think
I'm a fan of Zoe too. Yeah, your list is better than mine already.
Yeah. No, Zoe Stark. She definitely has a vibe that I think is going to be great as a heel on the main roster or wherever she is at. And she has a great moveset. She's athletic. I think that the women's division in NXT is looking really good for the first time in a long time. You got Roxanne Perez, you got Zoe Stark, you got Indy Hartwell, and Tiffany Stratton, all very capable of holding that championship, all very talented. So we'll see where it goes from here. But I see Zoe Stark getting called up for some reason. I think that she's on the cusp.
I like that. I like the new proper women down there.
Yeah, I'm digging it, and that's not including some people that we have already talked about in this podcast. Before, I'm not going to name names, but forget. We got Trey Miguel, number 3 on my underrated performers of the week. He won in a triple threat match against Mike Bailey and our guy Jonathan Gresham. Actually, it was a good match, really good match. Dude's super talented, great heel down there. He's not doing the spray paint as much when he comes out, because he's a heel now. But I'm still digging what he's doing in the ring. So shout out to him with the X Division Championship. Number 2, Commander. Dude had great match with Jay White. great, phenomenal match with Jay White. But not only that, he had a great match at AAA Mega Triple Mania, Triple Mania. And I watched a couple of the matches on that.
Triple Mania.
Triple Mania. I watched a couple of matches on that. Not only was Commander a standout, but El Vikingo was, Swerve, and shout out to Swerve, shout out to Rich Swann. They all performed very well. Swerve looked like a giant in that ring. I'll just put it that way. But he killed it out there. But I want to say, Commander, 2 matches in the week, great performance. That freaking tight rope, shooting stars press. That should be his finisher. He walks the ropes, hit the shooting star press. Something like that is so cool. People are like, "Oh, it's not that cool." I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, that shit is dope. So keep doing that shit. That should be your finisher. I'm gonna leave it at that. And number 1 is The Miz. Number 1 is The Miz, man. The guy, like I said, he's underrated because I haven't seen him put his performance on in a long time, and I kind of forgot. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about the guy can go like that. So, all the Miz TVs, the tiny balls, all that stuff that you've been doing, comedic angles, helping other people get over. I appreciate all the work you're putting in to work with these guys. But you are still that dude in the ring, and I sometimes forget. I honestly look at MJF like a better wrestler, but I think he just does more things that kind of like I'm shocked in the ring. Where that he can perform. Where The Miz, he's a certain technical aspect that he's his own style over the past years, and pairing him up with Seth was a perfect showcase of all his like benefit, or how you say his talents. His benefits. Positive side, his strengths. You know what I'm saying? So, but you can't do that match without one half of the match, which is the awesome one, The Miz. So shout out to him. He's number 1 on my underrated for the week. And I also got my list for our top wrestlers of the week, but you can go first.
No, you can roll into it. You got a little groove going.
All right, let me actually rank them bitches. I don't even know. All right, so number 5. Shit. I gotta give this guy number 1. He's killing it right now. I gotta give number 2 to this guy. Got it 3. Boom. 4. All right, 5. 5 is the Usos. Man, they had a great promo on SmackDown, and so I just leave it just because the promo was entertaining to me. Great performance out there, and obviously, right before Solo's match, setting the stage for a tag team match next week and for their match at Backlash with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle. So they definitely sold those 2 matches in their promo, and it was very entertaining. So I give number 5 performer of the week. Number 4, I give to it's a couple. It's Adam Cole and Britt Baker. I got to give it to both of them because they honestly brought the impact and sauce to that angle. They made that angle in that moment at the end of the show. That was the best part of the show. So. Shout out to them for putting on a great performance, and Britt Baker taking all those Kendall shots. Got to put her on the list, bro. Number 3, got to give it to Trish Stratus, man. Yo, Trish Stratus, man.
Best promo.
Yo, she came back at age of 4. What is she? 43, and it's like, yo, I'm still better than half of the roster, more than half of the roster. You can put the trap on her right now. I feel like Trish Stratus is that level of talent right now, and I am watching Raw to watch her. Like at this point, I am watching Raw to watch her and see where this goes. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. When she comes out to talk her shit and put respect on her name, not being some backup to Becky Lynch and Lita. Finally, we're getting the real Trish and getting Trish like this feels like the old school Trish, like who's gonna really put like not act like a mentor, but act like I'm that bitch, So I love this. I'm watching it. Can't wait to see where it goes. Number 3 is Trish Stratus. Number 2, got to give it to Seth Rollins. He's the other half of that match with The Miz. Guys, you put it out there, like you said, reliable. Talked about it already. One of the top wrestlers in the world. And we're gonna see him now take on Omos at Puerto Rico. See if he can put on another banger for us with Omos. And if you can do that, then it helps Omos, it helps him, and hopefully we see him get a championship match sometime later on the road this year because he deserves it. And number 1 has to go to Solo Sikoa. The guy's killing it, man. The guy's killing it. I know you thought I was gonna go with Cody or like Roman or some shit. Nah. Solo Sikoa, man, the guy's performing every single main event. I think he has one of the and hey, nepotism. It's not a bad thing. But he got that shotgun to the main roster worked very well for him. A lot of people they would crush under the pressure of it. He has risen to the occasion. I gotta say, he's had main event after main event. Obviously, he has the backing of the Usos and Roman to help him and teach him along the way, but he's a natural. What he's done with Matt Riddle, the no disqualification match, dumping everything they've done has been great. So I want to give a shout out to Matt Riddle too. He's been great, awesome. They've been wrestling a lot lately, and I'm digging what they're putting out there. So those are my top 5 of the week. Now we can get to Joint Rollers top 5. Let's go.
All right, so I'm gonna start off with number 5, Trish Stratus. That promo was amazing. Her look is amazing.
Is it?
She's amazing.
She's not your childhood fantasy. Stop. She is not your childhood fantasy.
I don't know who lied to her. I don't know what dirt sheet lied to her.
We vehemently disagree, Trish.
No, she was absolutely one of the best of the week for last week. Number 4. I hate to admit that I was wrong.
Yes, when you gotta say you're wrong.
That nigga Cody Rhodes cut a promo, my nigga.
Oh, for a promo? You put him on the list for a promo? One promo?
But he's 4 though. He ain't 1. He's 4.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Cody Rhodes promo was really good. 2 promos back to back with Trish and Cody. But I think those 2 advanced some really good storylines that needed lacklusterness. I know the pull apart brawl type of thing is it's always type of dude, but Cody being fiery, it still don't make no sense about Brock, but that ain't got nothing to do with Cody. Cody doing what he got to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I should go ahead and put some performers in here because niggas did get down in the ring. So number 3 would be Seth and Miz. They
Miz on both lists.
Huh?
Miz is on both lists.
Yeah. I mean, he's good, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Miz, and you can't have Seth on there without having the Miz on there, and you can't have Miz on there. As far as best performers of the week, underrated Seth is not. I don't think Seth is underrated. I think he may feel like he's underrated. You know what I'm saying? And if he wants to be added onto the number 1 of underrated, then Miz and Seth is on that list. You know what I'm saying? We can do it that way too. But I would say best performers. I think Miz and Seth, 2 of the best dressed too. Also, you know what I'm saying, in WWE, going out there putting on a great performance. Number 2, the 4 women in the tag team match of Liv, Raquel, Sonya, and Chelsea Green.
There you go. Yo, X.
Yo,
congratulations, man.
Congratulations
on the win, man. We just gave you a shout out not too long ago, bro. It's a pleasure seeing all the videos and shit, yo. Shout out to Love.
Yo,
shout out to Love.
You look happy as hell, brother. I'm happy for you, man.
We are happy for you, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, the 4 women in that tag team match really put on a pretty good performance considering who was all involved, the lack of chemistry involved. I like Sonya and Chelsea seems to just work. Like, this works with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And her and Sonya Ernest ain't got a thing.
Chelsea, you just plug her in with anybody. She got
Plug
it.
and play, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Look at it. What quarterback is that? What backup quarterback is that? Who is that? Like what Chelsea Green?
I would say Chelsea Green is she's like rookie season Jamal Adams, where she can be a box safety, she can be a back safety. You can put her anywhere on the defense, and she can do something. She can be a middle linebacker, and with anybody on any facet. So I don't want to say she's a quarterback though. She ain't quarterback yet.
Well, okay. So what you trying to say? She's a rush package specialist.
I think she can be a quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I think that she has a talent, but I mean, we got to see more. We got to see more. That's all I'm trying to say.
I think I love her flexibility of how she can play and bounce off of talent and do good work. You know what I'm saying? And then so they're my number two. My number one wrestler of the week goes to Solo Sikoa.
Number two?
Number one.
Number one? Okay, we got the same one for the first time. That's what's up.
And Solo Sikoa, again, the maturation of his character, his influence within the bloodline, his role within the bloodline, his importance of how he's the glue. He is Roman when Roman's not there. His dominance, his presence. You know what I'm saying? Like, so being lieutenant and second in command, he wears that well. So shout out to Solo Sikoa.
Shout out to Solo, man. He is Performer of the Week, Reaper Wrestling Podcast, unanimous performer, first ever unanimous Performer of the Week. So that goes to Solo. Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah, with that, we might as well. Ain't no, you can't get nothing better than that.
We out here, but there's one thing I wanted to talk about before I get
What's
out
that,
of here.
brother?
Real quick. I know I get on WWE about like ads and sponsorship and use of ads in your matches and shit. I have never seen so much product placement in my life. Triple Mania, what the fuck? During the matches, during the fucking match, the whole Titantron is ad after ad after ad. Yo, I couldn't. It would not stop. It's distracting, bro.
How is it distracting?
It was distracting, yo. I was distracted. Yo, you go watch it yourself. I'm just saying. I ain't gonna hate because that's not it's Triple Mania. Gotta make the money somehow.
When you watch baseball or football or basketball and the flash ads come across on the screen and stuff like that, does that take away from the action?
They gotta do it better than that. They can't have a big ass screen where it's bright as hell and you're zooming out and you could barely see the wrestling, but you can see the ads. Like the camera was like wide shot, ad shot. And you're like, oh, is there wrestling going on in that corner? Like that's how it was. That's how it felt. But so yeah, come on, chill. But that's all I'm gonna say. Business logic, figure something out. Triple Mania, AAA, them ads. I get it. You gotta get paid somehow. Y'all grinding out there.
Listen, if any ads want to come in, motherfucking come in our show like this, nigga, and be like, I'll take it.
Get that shit the fuck out of here, yeah.
Yo, if an ad would have come in and just be like,
yeah.
I'm
not allowing it. I'm not allowing it. I don't care. I got a show to do, man. People want to see our face, right? Nah.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm saying. All right, brother. Go and get you some rest, man. I know you had.
All right, man. Yeah. Shout out to everybody listening. Check us out, RW Podcast 1, Reasonable Wrestling Podcast everywhere. Please like the stream if you made it this far. Like us on SoundCloud. Like us everywhere. And everything is wrestling. All is love. We'll see you next week. Peace out. And don't listen to the dirt sheets.
No.
All right.
Fuck them niggas.